And once again, the referee in charge, John Coyle, now to give instructions, 12 rounds of championship boxing schedule.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'll just ask three things. Obey the rules, obey my instructions, and let's see good sportsmanship. Shake hands. Good luck to you both. Back to your corner.
Crackling atmosphere. Last time referee John Coyle was in this city, he was almost knocked out by Mike Tyson as he tried to stop the fight against Lou Savarese. It's the youth, strength, power, determination of Scott Harrison against the ferocious work rate, experience and maybe extra speed of Wayne McCullough. We've waited so long for this one. Here it is for the WBO Featherweight Championship, held recently by Prince Nassim Hamed and Steve Robinson. Don't forget him as well. It's going to stay in the British Isles tonight. Has the fight come a little too late in Wayne McCullough's distinguished career? Harrison in the black trunks. Dower, steely-eyed. Fascinating to see who gets driven back in the first couple of rounds. What do you think, Glenn?
Well, what about this atmosphere, first of all? Unbelievable, really is, but such a good fight in prospect, and it really is. It's pretty important early on who gets control, and Harrison's just getting his jab out pretty well at the beginning.
He does have a way of imposing his style on opponents, Harrison, and there's that jab again. Not able to really get in range yet and get those arms pumping like pistons in the way that he does. McCullough says that he's easily capable of 100 punches around, maybe more than that. Quite prepared to walk through Harrison's punches to try to get into range.
But I'm sure Harrison has put a few pounds on since that weigh, and he looks a lot bigger all of a sudden, doesn't he?
Yes, the weigh-in was 24 hours ago, and to be honest with you, Harrison looked like it had been a real battle to get down to 9 stone. He'd been training in 3 layers of training kit in a Turkish bath of a gym. It's a hurtful-looking right hand from Harrison, who's taken control in the first minute here.
Well, he started very well, Harrison. Got the centre of the ring, using his jab to better effect, and looks the stronger.
He's finding it hard to get in range. Wayne McCullough here in this Celtic collision to bring back memories of that battle between Jim Watt and Charlie Nash some 20-odd years ago. Good right hand again from Harrison. McCullough's always been very easy to hit. He's fought with his face all the way through his career, but somehow overcome that with his own volume and intensity of work.
Well, Harrison started very strongly, looking very good, confident, getting his shots off so well. And these are pretty telling punches he's throwing.
McCullough looking a little bit stiff in this opening round.
He's just looking like he's had a little bit taken out of him by the power of the punches from Harrison, I feel.
Just hasn't been able to get off with the usual stream of punches in that opening round, McCullough. Very, very definitely, Harrison wins the first round. Kenny Kroom, the trainer from the gym in Las Vegas, where McCullough did the bulk of his work. He said he did 150 rounds of sparring. He was in a bit of trouble in that opening round, really.
Yeah, I think he was. He got caught with a few good solid shots, and I think he was taken by surprise by the accuracy of Harrison.
You're standing right in front of him, right? You're dropping your hands and you're right in front of him.
Harrison's jab was the dominant feature.
Yeah, Harrison trying to get his shots off. Decent ones to the body, missing with a lot round the head. Not one of Harrison's better combinations. That was the left hook and the right hand.
But worth remembering, Ring Magazine reckon that Wayne McCullough has the best chin in world boxing. Second round. The winner of this could well be fighting the near legendary now Johnny Tapia, and then later the world #1 Marco Antonio Barrera, the great Mexican who beat Nassim Hamed.
Well, it's certainly a fight that Harrison wants, and one thing you've got to respect about him, he wants proper fights. You know, he doesn't want anything easy, he wants to be the best.
It's been like that all the way through his career, and he moves McCullough again with that left hand. Just looking short of ideas early on, McCullough. McCullough, who said in the build-up to this he was surprised that Harrison's camp had taken the fight. Thought they'd made a big mistake. It did look a high-risk strategy, but maybe a bit less so over the opening round and a half, but long way to go.
Well, maybe that's a measure of the confidence that they have in Scott Harrison, and that confidence looks to be good confidence at this moment.
Harrison, who predicts he'll be the first man to stop McCullough, he thinks he'll do it in about 8 or 9 rounds. Nassim Hamed couldn't do it, Eric Morales couldn't do it, Daniel Zaragoza couldn't do it. They're the only men to have beaten McCullough in his career, all on points.
McCullough has to try and be a little more elusive. I know he does take shots, but can't really afford to take a volume of shots from someone like Harrison, who has a good work rate himself.
Harrison looking big, strong, dominant. It would have been fascinating as he lands with another right hand to know what these two fighters have weighed on the night of the fight, a few minutes before they went into the ring. We were denied that information, unfortunately. Because it's worth remembering, McCullough's never weighed more than 9 stone 1 in his whole career, even for a non-title fight. He was 8-12 for a non-title fight last time. And here, in at the big league, in the 9 stone division. Important, I think. Good body shot from McCullough.
Well, he talks of throwing 130, 140 punches, but at the moment, the jab of Harrison is not allowing him to get set, to get in range, to throw any of those punches.
Well, I think it's nothing short of a nightmare start, this, for McCullough.
Exactly, Ian. He just can't get into it at the moment. Good boxing from Scott Harrison.
Saw Harrison early on. Well, one of the big questions about Scott Harrison going into this fight was, is he as good as people say he is? Answers, well, at the moment he's looking as if he might be.
Well, it's looking like he might be, and he may be somebody, you know, who's going to be a big, big star. Certainly there's been a terrific start for Scott Harrison.
They don't know him in America. Frankly, I don't think they know him south of the border at the moment. I think some of the sports editors who've given this scant coverage in England really should be here tonight to see just how big this fight is. Up here is an absolutely electric atmosphere around this fight, and there has been, with acres of coverage in the Scottish papers about it all week. But Harrison, if he carries on like this, is going to arrive through sheer force of performance. But don't write off McCullough yet. This is a man who's been around and fought his way through several escapades. Just can't get his punches off though tonight.
Well, I think that's just down to the good boxing, the way he's controlling this fight, Scott Harrison.
Or has Wayne gone back a bit?
Well, maybe so, but at this moment you can't take anything away from Harrison. He's doing everything and doing it right.
That's better from McCullough. Wade, who felt that his extra speed and a few technical refinements might be the answer for him in this fight, and his nous have been around big fight atmospheres. Starting to get a bit closer, McCullough here.
He's maybe just starting to get his timing a bit better. Hasn't had a great deal of activity, so maybe needs to get himself into the fight, but Harrison picking his shots well.
Harrison goes for 2 big right hands, and the second one landed with a both. and then thumped into the body as well. They're going to make the body a specific target, they said. They know about McCullough's chin. So body punching might be an answer. That was a right hand with the inside of the glove from me by Harrison, a slap, and that is exactly what John Coyle, the referee, says. Crowd didn't like it, but he was absolutely right, the experienced Wolverhampton official.
Seeing very good accuracy from Harrison. Really is taking his shot so well, wasting very little.
Almost like a character from a spaghetti western, isn't he? Those old Clint Eastwood films, stone-faced, unsmiling, the hard demeanour. Let's go with another right hand.
Oh, McCullough carries that left hand pretty low, and he's paying the penalty for that.
Another good left hand. It's a good shot back from McCullough, lifted a bit by that, and then he lands with a left hand too. And then a body punch, better than McCullough here, who gambles and tries to walk through Harrison's punches. Harrison, another big right hand. Now it's the fight we thought it would be in the third. Better from McCullough, but not enough. But signs, maybe just signs of encouragement for McCullough there.
Well, a little bit. He just seemed to be warming to it a bit more in that round. He was prepared to stand with Harrison, and I think he got a little bit of success when he did that.
Well, he had to do something, didn't he?
He did have to do something. I still don't think he did enough in that round, but he certainly rallied, stood with Harrison, started to get some good punches off.
Then a real exchange at the end of the round. Ferocious trading.
Well, they're both prepared to stand and fight. We thought it would come to this, and you know, I think this is the stage of the fight where there's going to be some thrilling rounds.
Here's the fourth round. The black trunks, remember, of the defending champion Scott Harrison. His first defence. He won the title in this arena in a superb performance against Julio Pablo Chacon of Argentina, ripping the title away from him. Ahead early here against McCullough. Remember, it's 8 years since McCullough won the World Bantamweight title in Japan. Long time ago, really. Hasn't fought at world level for 3.5 years or so, largely because of a medical suspension. Maybe that's part of it, Glenn. He's just having to crank himself up a bit to be fighting at this elite level again.
Yes, I think that is it. You know, he's had to raise up. Now he's starting to find a little bit of time in himself and get a few of his good shots off.
Yeah, I think that combination registered on the face of Harrison, the two-punch combination. A little bit of head movement too from McCullough as well, but there goes Harrison with that accuracy again. Oh, right hand, and again the famed jaw of McCullough, absolutely no impression. He is quite incredible. Just look at Wayne McCullough, Mr. Indestructibility.
Well, he needs to keep those hands up. He can't allow someone like Harrison to get free shots off. Harrison's finding them time and time again with the right hand.
Yeah, but part of the psyche of Wayne McCullough, I think, going into this is to dispirit Harrison. That he's going to get to a point, Harrison, where he's hit him with every shot that he's got, and McCullough's still there throwing in front of him.
Well, that's going to be the McCullough's time in the fight, you'd think, the later rounds.
Yes, very good combination shots from Scott Harrison, but McCullough is getting into this now. Lovely left hook from the Pocket Rocket.
Starting to get a bit of rhythm, McCullough mixing it up, a bit of movement, and then standing, trading with Harrison.
Looked to shell of himself for 2 rounds, McCullough, but this is more like it, and the right hand's a cracker. Best yet this from Wayne McCullough. Early on, it was looking a bit of a formality for Harrison. The right eye is puffing up a bit of McCullough. First signs of that.
Decent work from McCullough at range, using the jab, in and out.
Bit of lateral movement from him now as well. He's loosened up, making it harder for Harrison to catch him cleanly. Best yet by McCullough, that one. Well, this is boiling up to be the thriller we all thought it would be. That was a terrific last round, and significantly, McCullough started to find his rhythm. He was caught by a few. For the first time in round 4, McCullough hit his target of 100 punches in the round. I gave him the round. I think you did too, didn't you, Glenn?
Yes, I did. I thought he mixed it up quite well in that round, McCullough.
Harrison is the harder puncher. Not much doubt about that, I think, at this weight. His chin's always looked good too, Scott Harrison. Whether McCullough can make any kind of dent on a big featherweight, open to question. Good body shot. He's switching the attack a little there, Harrison. Harrison, who grew up as a boy watching his dad spar with world lightweight champion and now Sky analyst Jim Watt, taking it all in. He had world flyweight champion Walter McGowan in the corner for one of his amateur fights. So there's some pedigree there.
Decent body shot from McCullough. Harrison looking for the straight punches back. The right hand for Harrison is the one that's worked the best so far.
But definitely more movement now from McCullough, lateral movement, side to side. Just making it a little more difficult for Harrison to get set with those hurtful-looking right hands. Making him miss a bit more.
Guess he needs to have a solid footwork when he throws his combinations. Now he's having to move about a little bit more. It's not as effective, Harrison.
Body shot looked a good one, though. He dug his toes into the canvas for that one. Keep the punches up, says John Coyle, the referee. But this is a real clean fight, and he can almost let the two of them get on with it. Oh, there's the wonderful combination work that sometimes characterizes Harrison. We noticed it when he fought against Tracy Harry Patterson, the former world champion, in only his 12th fight at Madison Square Garden.
Yes, he's so polished in the way he puts his shots together. Wastes very little, Harrison.
Again, lovely countering right. Showing his class, Harrison, there. Quality shots are coming from him, and particularly with the right hand. McCullough has a habit of dropping his left glove, and he is beginning to swell up around the face. McCullough, another right hand. Can't miss with him in this round. Harrison's got back on top again after that good round McCullough had in the 4th.
Yes, Harrison's lifted himself with some very good polished boxing.
Come on, Wayne. Hands up, Wayne. Keep your hands up, Wayne.
That's Harrison's round. Back in control of it. Well, one hates to second-guess judges, but I would
make sure he's no one to come back in.
Hasten to suggest that it's probably 4 rounds to 1 for Harrison this so far.
Yes, that's exactly as I've got it. He's doing the better work, got himself back in control of this fight with that very good round, Scott Harrison.
Here we go, round 6. Again, that slippery patch we noticed earlier in the night in the centre of the ring. Disconcerting McCullough for a moment there. McCullough, who grew up on the Shankill Road area of Belfast, but a lot of his friends ended up in some deep trouble. Boxing kept him away from all of that.
Nice little right hand from McCullough.
Oh, cracking right hand from Harrison. How does he take them? How does he do it, Wayne McCullough? We wondered how he did it against Morales.
But can he keep taking them in? That's the question. He's older now.
It is a question, but we've seen it so many times. We just couldn't believe it when he fought Eric Morales that he got through 12 rounds. But he did. They used to call Tony Zale the man of steel. Is the modern-day equivalent. I don't think Harrison's going to get dispirited by the fact that McCullough isn't going dizzy with some of these punches. He's just going to keep on working, isn't he? That's his attitude to it all.
Yeah, that's the thing about both these fighters. They're both very good professionals. Very different in character, but good professionals. McCullough is getting hurt by these shots.
Thumping right hand. Oh, and another one. He could go down for the first time in his career here. McCullough really starting to unload. How many more of these can he take? Even Wayne McCullough. Harrison here has him on a platter for a moment or two.
Harrison's looking for the big shots. He's trying to load up. He knows he's hurt McCullough.
I wonder what the watching Johnny Tapia is making of this. He's never seen Scott Harrison before. And like everyone else who's ever seen him, I would think he's pretty impressed.
Yes, he couldn't help but being impressed by this sort of performance. Really is just surprised that McCullough's there after taking such heavy shots in the beginning of this round, but still looking to fight back.
Good body shot, went a bit low. Bit of blood around, I think, somewhere. And the right eye swelling up of McCullough. Not closed or anything like that yet. Taken some thunderous shots in this round, McCullough. Nearly every other fighter in the world would have been down, I think, from some of these. I think this has slowed McCullough a little. But this man trains so assiduously. Like nicked by the right eye of Harrison. That's what the little bit of blood was. Nothing much. Pretty amazing stuff. We thought it would be.
Yeah, well, everybody thought they'd have a fight like this, and it's turned out to be as good as we thought. Really is. McCullough showed a great chin. We know he's got one, but he really needed one in that round. In disarray there at the shots going in from Harrison. The right hands worked so well all night, and it was that again that really rocked the chin of McCullough.
Harrison came out with a good comment, I thought, at the press conference. He was asked about McCullough's greater experience. He said, well, in recent times, he's fought the best, but he hasn't beaten the best. There's Cheryl, wife and business manager of Wayne McCullough. They're inseparable, aren't they? Except when Wayne's in the ring. She can't help him in there. He's well capable of looking after himself. 7.
Yeah, I've got Harrison pulling ahead, 4 points clear on my card.
Has to be that way. I don't think it's been that hard to score. I'm sure the judges have got something very similar to what Glenn just showed you. How can McCullough get back in this? There's no signs of that work rate we were talking about taking control of it for him, is there?
There's not, and I think that's because of the solid punches, the accuracy, the good boxing of Scott Harrison.
Whose own work rate isn't half bad, by the way, either.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's not giving McCullough a chance to even take a break from these heavy shots. Just a constant succession of well-timed punches.
Well, I think that was part of the strategy, to negate McCullough's work rate. All the time he's having to take them and he's on the end of shots. He can't really be throwing back. Harrison's very rarely had to take the backward step. He's been in centre ring most of the time. And yet again, his critics might note that he is imposing his will on the opponent. But I think the weight thing's a big factor in this fight.
I think it is. You know, he's the stronger man. That's very, very evident. But you know, don't take it away from the boxing skills of Harrison. So sharp.
I wasn't trying to, but peach of an uppercut on the inside. Not sure it quite got through. But he's taken a lot, Wayne McCullough here. How can he plot a course back into the contest? That's the problem for him. Because at the moment, Harrison's control looks like a stranglehold.
He slipped there on the slippery canvas and wobbled by a big right hand.
Again, McCullough just sucks it all up, and he is beginning to slow. Worth remembering that he's pushing on towards his 33rd birthday now.
Well, tremendously well-conditioned Wayne McCullough, but so then is Scott Harrison.
He's winning just about all the rounds and putting them in the bank. Let's have a look what the computer is making of things so far. Harrison has landed 205, McCullough only 142. Better success rate, better punch economy by Scott Harrison. And I think Wayne McCullough just tapped his glove at the end of that last round, almost as if to say, yeah, you're good.
Well, you win those good fighters, but I think he acknowledges that Harrison's good.
Round 8. Might it even be that Scott Harrison emerges to be the leading featherweight in the world? Certainly his camp wouldn't be shy of going in with Marco Antonio Barrera, who's regarded as the #1 after his win over Eric Morales and Nassim Hamed.
Well, they're the fights Harrison wants, and you know, that's good to see.
Great right hand again from him, sort of right cross. This is getting very hard, you sense, for McCullough now.
Well, it is. I think, you know, it's very hard to take the sort of punches that he's taking and keep fighting back and trying to work of your own.
It was always a big ask to come back from the time of inactivity, probably at a weight that's ideally one weight up from what he's best at, super bantam, and take on a really hot emerging talent like Scott Harrison. That's the way it's proving so far. But I wonder whether McCullough has got more rallies left in him. Oh, walked onto the right hand. Another punning shot. How does he do it, Glenn? Oh, head rocked back, and I wonder whether John Coyle, the referee, might think about the stoppage. I think he looked concerned the way McCullough's head was being rocked about then, and rightly so. He said he'd do it in 8 or 9 rounds, and I think John Coyle might step in unless McCullough can come back with something here. Harrison is on the verge of a bit of history here, I think, maybe. Big shots, McCullough has to start throwing back, otherwise this is going to be stopped. It's the 8th round. Harrison talked about doing it in the 8th or 9th as well. He very nearly has. I think McCullough there, with his record of durability, got the benefit of some considerable doubt.
But I think John Coyle is ready to step in. Certainly a tremendous round from Harrison. Can't be much left in the tank of McCullough.
There comes a time when the referee has to save him from his own bravery. He's not going to quit, that's for certain. But I see no way back for McCullough here now. Not on all boxing logic. Harrison has been so dominant, superb, really.
He really has. It's been a tremendous performance so far from Scott Harrison. Really has looked, you know, top of the league in world class.
Well, if you were in any doubt about the fact that Scott Harrison is a world-class fighter, there can be no doubts anymore. Somehow McCullough got through the round. He shook his head ruefully and goes back to the corner. I just wonder whether Kenny Krim, the trainer, might even think about saying enough's enough. What do you think, Glenn? Should they even?
Well, I think that'll be on his mind, but he's...
Let's have a listen.
Stuff, Pocket, right in front of you. You ain't giving him nothing back.
Watch your back there.
Pocket. Watch him out. Pocket. You're not giving him nothing back. Now, you hear me?
You ain't giving him nothing back. He's walking straight to you, doing everything he wants to do.
Well, the point there is he can't do anything back. That's the problem. If anybody could, Wayne McCullough would, but he just can't. He's just dominant, Scott Harrison.
And tonight, I think, he's shown everybody just how good he is. And I wonder what they're making of this in America, because they know Wayne McCullough in America from his battles with Hamed, with Eric Morales, with Zaragoza, in his time as Bantamweight champion. He's doing it against a fighter they know and respect. And at the moment, he's just looked absolutely superb against him.
Yep, the Americans can't fail to be impressed by this performance from Scott Harrison.
There will be those who say this isn't the Wayne McCullough of 4 or 5 years ago, and maybe there is some credence to that argument. That takes nothing away from what Harrison is doing in there. I think it's in the referee's mind to stop this if this round is anything like the last one.
Well, he was twitching to do it last time. It's just he started throwing a couple of shots back, McCullough. So I think it is definitely in his mind, and he'll not let McCullough take a great deal more.
Just able to make no kind of dent at all in Harrison, who has this grim, determined look about him. Throwback featherweight going about his work. Certainly Scotland's finest since the days of June Watt and Ken Buchanan. No mistake about that.
Frank Maloney's had great praise for Harrison, and that praise has proven to be pretty worthy.
Just a little slip there by McCullough, who kind of rubbed his soles of his boots on the canvas as if to try and get some more purchase. Harrison's kind of called off the assault a bit in this round. McCullough trying to keep himself out of trouble, but this is now just a grim battle for survival as far as he's concerned. Can he get through to the final bell? It must look a long way, even from the ninth.
Well, at this point, it is a long way when you're under pressure like the pressure that he's under from Harrison.
Great right hand there from McCullough. He found something. Marked up around the face. More laboured in his movements now, McCullough. This must be hard watching for his wife, Cheryl. You know, his baby daughter, she's not a baby now, Winona, is here tonight as well. As if Harrison's just given himself a little breather in this first round,
Well, after the last round, I think he had to.
Well, headshots landed. Scott Harrison, 250 of them. That's, well, it's almost twice as many as McCullough has managed. The famed McCullough work rate has just not been a factor.
Well, just because he can't get the shots off, because Harrison is so dominant and has controlled this fight so well.
Well, there have been 9 rounds. I've given 8 of them to Harrison.
Exactly the same here. There's only one I've given McCullough, and that was the 4th. Other than that, everything has gone to Harrison. Really has been in control pretty much from the start.
He looks almost resigned to it now, doesn't he, Wayne McCullough? There's a little shake of the head there. Well, he just can't fight his fight tonight, hasn't been allowed to.
He can't fight his fight. He can't also put a dent in Harrison. He needs to get into the fight, and he just doesn't have anything to do it with.
Oh, there's a left hook got through there. McCullough gets the gloves up to stop anything that might have been coming afterwards.
Well, he's had a little bit of a rest in the last round. Harrison now, I think he'll pick it up and try and take it to McCullough again.
McCullough gets the gloves up. It hasn't been fight of the year material simply because Scott Harrison's been too good to allow Wayne McCullough to get very competitive. The right hand around the tempo shook him up a bit then, I think, Glenn.
Yes,
and
it
then
did.
again too. Befuddling effect. Not much left, I don't think, Wayne McCullough here. Another right hand. I think he's ready to go. And another right hand. And again, John Coyle takes a serious look at Wayne McCullough. And again, I think he got the benefit of the doubt. But he's taking a hammering, to be honest with you.
He is taking a hammering. You know, he's been too great for his own good, really.
If he did stop it sometime soon, it wouldn't be premature, John Coyle.
Well, to be honest, I don't think there's a way back for McCullough. So, you know, his health's always the prime matter.
Absolutely, he's got the rest of his life to live. Scottish fans are taunting the travelling Northern Ireland contingent with "You're not singing anymore." I think it's been a bit of disappointment for them. But what bravery by Wayne McCullough again. What a gladiator he is.
Well, you know, we would never doubt that, and we never expect any less of the little man.
He really is an incredible fighter, Wayne McCullough.
But I think Scott Harrison is proving tonight how good he really is.
Yes, this is more one-sided than any of the other losses he's had against Zaragoza, Hamed or Morales, isn't it? Much more.
Yeah,
it is later in his career, mind.
That's right, but it's still, you know, it's the way he's going about his work that's impressive. Scott Harrison is hardly, you know, doing anything wrong.
Harrison, the new featherweight star in Britain now that Nassim Hamed appears to have abdicated. All Harrison. What can they say now to Wayne McCullough in there? Let's eavesdrop if we can. The answer's not a lot. Do you think they should pull him out?
Well, you know, he's a proud fighter. He'll not want to be pulled out. You know, I mean, but I think they've just got to be a little bit careful with McCullough. He's taking some pretty heavy shots.
I think one of those was to the ear, wasn't it? I think that's what disorientated him.
It was one round the side of the head, and that seemed to really just knock his balance out quite a bit.
Wide, right? Well, not all I do is go under. He's throwing everything wide.
11th round. At times, this is getting a little painful to watch, Glenn.
Yes, it is. You know, there doesn't seem any way for McCullough to win now. Just take a lot more than he's already took.
Well, this is a man of immense pride. He won't want to be stopped. He'll want to keep that proud record. But my goodness me, it's been heavy weather for him. Too young, too strong, too talented, Harrison. Another right bounces off the jaws somehow of McCullough. He seems to have the physique of a mountainside. Some great nights up here in Scotland. We've already had a couple with this fellow Scott Harrison.
Another big right hand lands against the side of the head of McCullough.
All watched by Frank Maloney, Harrison's manager, wearing a kilt tonight. Now we've seen it all. deserves to hear the final bell, Wayne McCullough. He's just trying to keep himself out of trouble. Still enough in those legs. He's trying to dance as best he can to keep away from Harrison's punches. Buy himself a little time of respite. Raiding tactics now by McCullough.
Yes, I think you're on his mind now is getting through it.
Maybe Harrison's got just a little more tired himself now as well. What do you think?
Well, he's had to throw an awful lot of punches. Concentration has been fantastic. That all takes a lot of energy. And you know, he'll be starting to feel the pace as well, but he never shows much, does he, Harrison?
And now the right hand. Here comes the next salvo of punches. McCullough still has enough in the legs to get himself away. But he is a country mile behind.
Trying to mix it up, looking for body shots, just taking his time a bit more now. Harrison looking to pick the shots.
Yeah, he's slowed a little, just fighting in bursts, but he knows that he has the points in his pocket. Again, McCullough's balance deserts him as he goes back to the corner, I think because of the grip on the soles of his boots. But he's got through 11 rounds of this. It does look like he might hear the final bell. I must admit there have been a lot of moments over the last few rounds when I never thought he would.
Well, that's exactly right. I didn't think he would either a few rounds ago, but you know, he has so far.
Well, they've both completed 12 rounds. Well, between them on 10 occasions. McCullough 6 times, Harrison 4. Stamina, in other words, not a problem. Try telling that to Wayne McCullough now after everything he's been through for 11. The next 3 minutes might seem like 30.
Yeah, I've got a 10 rounds to 1. That's how dominant this has been a performance from Scott Harrison.
You cannot but admire the courage and bravery of Wayne McCullough, but you have to admire too the skills of a man who seems to be close to his prime, Scott Harrison.
Well, he wants to finish it off in style.
He wants to stop him. I think that's what the corner have said. Go on, you've got the fight won. Go out and make history, be the first man to stop McCullough. If he was hoping for a quiet ride for the last 3 minutes, he's got another thing coming. Yeah, that's just a loss of balance by Harrison. Wayne's world has been shattered here. No way back to the top level tonight. And this is an aging fight for him, isn't it, again?
Yeah, very aging fight. He's took an awful lot. I mean, only his fantastic chin and courage has kept him in this fight.
Ring Magazine had it right. It is the best chin in world boxing, isn't it?
Well, he's needed that chin because Scott Harrison's been in great form.
Utterly dominant performance this from the very, very impressive Scott Harrison of Canvasland.
Well, the Scottish fans in full voice.
As well they might be. Been quite a week, hasn't it, one way and another for Scottish sport. And the Scott Harrison gym isn't very far from Celtic's ground. Still celebrating that win over Liverpool.
Well, into the last minute of this one. It's been a very good fight. Harrison has been dominant, Ian.
Got him with the left hand, then back comes Harrison with the right, just to remind him of who's the governor. McCullough has probably only won 1 round of 4. He looked like he was beginning to just get into it at that point. another crunching right goes in from the defending WBO champion. Just as when Jim Watt fought Charlie Nash, Scotland are going to be the winners here over Northern Ireland. 6,000 fans singing their hearts out for Scott Harrison now. There's the final bell, and surely that has gone to Scott Harrison, the potentially great Scot. No doubts about it, Clem.
No doubts whatsoever. It's been a big landslide win for Scott Harrison. He really did box well, and I think this was a landmark fight for him. He come through with flying colours, and I really think there's so much out there for Scott Harrison.
I think he can fight anybody, can't he?
Most definitely. I think he can beat anybody as well. I mean, he was so good.
Look at this scene. Cheryl manages a smile through it all. Wayne took so much, but to be honest with you, he was hardly ever in it. That's how good Scott Harrison was, and I do wish that outside of Scotland, everybody else would wake up to him.
Well, I think they will after this fight. I think he really proved himself and proved it in the best possible fashion. He went out there and boxed superbly.
He is quite a talent. Frank Maloney, his manager, thinks he can become the greatest Scottish fighter ever. Johnny Tapia there, who's watching, and may well be the next opponent for Scott Harrison. That would be good, wouldn't it?
It would be good. I think he'd have been very impressed, and I'm not sure how much he would want to fight with Harrison.
Tapia has certainly passed his best and recently lost to Barrera. But he is still a big name, and they'd have no problem selling the tickets, and maybe in an even bigger arena than this. You could see him fighting outdoors at Ibrox or Celtic Park, couldn't you?
Well, I think the Scottish fans are right behind me. I mean, I think that's just a matter of time before there's a big outdoor fight with this man, Scott Harrison.
I wonder what would have happened if he'd fought at the Olympic Games. He nearly made it to the Olympics, didn't he? Just missed it. There's Johnny Tapia, the man who's had this incredible life. It's good that he's here tonight. He's truly loved by the British fans, this Tapia. And it would be a bit of a marquee fight. You're going to get the confirmation of the scorecards. Usually there's a little bit of tension in a situation as they're collated. There isn't tonight. McCullough knows he's lost. Harrison knows he's won. Let's hope Wayne's all right. Not sure what his future might hold after that. Here it comes officially.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge ringside, Andre van Grutenbroel scores about 119 to 109. Judge Mickey Van sees about 119 to 108. And judge at ringside, Dr. Ruben Garcia sees about 120 to 108. All three in favor of the winner and still champion, the Real McCoy Scott Harrison.
Great respect between the two fighters, landslide margins, and one of the judges, Robert Garcia from the USA, gave Harrison every round. But once again, Wayne McCullough was not floored, and he wasn't stopped, but do not ask me how.